I told you this guy's a genius.
Self-proclaimed, maybe.
Well, as long as it works for him.
Exactly my point.
Awesome. Okay. I don't think it's my job to be silent all the time. I'm trying to talk as peacefully as I can, if you will. It's not that I don't want to be peaceful. It's more that if I don't feel peaceful, because I feel like I'm being shaken by life, not because I go there and I say, please shake me, but simply because, other people have emotions and other people are full of hate. And because they run around with this kind of mentality that says, I'm always right. I never make a mistake in my life because I'm so good. Yeah, and they run around with this. It starts with a lot of things. It's like, most people don't look like models. Most people don't have these perfect teeth that you're supposed to have. These, I don't know, handbook for models kind of breasts, where they like perfect shape. And you just have to deal with the shit that's happening to you. I mean, you've been grown into a body. The first step is to accept that. I'm just gonna accept it. I'm just walking away from my stuff up there because I think whoever comes here is not gonna be a crook, because the crooks are all in the city. And, if you have a lot of problems, you're going to stay away from places like this because, it probably would never occur to you. So you just go to the park because that's the furthest you think you can manage with all your fear and all your hate and all your problems and all your, I'm taking, I don't know, amphetamines bullshit, where you think, to me, a coffee is enough. I don't need HHC or cannabis to feel how I feel now. What I have to do to feel like I may have felt before on psychedelics is to grow some balls. I would like to know how I can find psychedelic truffles in nature, because I don't want to buy them in shops. I want to get them straight from nature. And the only ones that I can safely categorize, I would say, are fly agraric. I'm not an expert on these things. Not at all. I just try to get by. I'm not an expert with people. I'm not an expert with emotions. I know how to get by. So if you bite me in my finger, You know, I could be super cool about it, or I'm just gonna show you that you just don't do that to people. Because I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of shit going on in my life. And I have the feeling you take me for granted. And because I have that feeling, I think I have to set some boundaries, which is why this is the line. If you cross it again, you know what's coming. That doesn't mean I just can go around and punch people, because that's not what I want to do at all. You know, I also have to learn from what happened and say, you know, if it happens again, you know, I know when to leave. Because if I think back, I know I should have just left, but I thought I was staying to help, right? I thought, yeah, this and that person feels so alone, so I'm just gonna stay. And maybe I just didn't want to leave. And now I know what happened. And that's what that person wanted to happen all along. You know, sometimes people just want to win, right? Sometimes people just want to win, and they're willing to win at all costs. And if they realize they cannot win the way they want to win, you know, they think, yeah, I'm just gonna bite you in your finger because you make me angry. And if I'm angry because of you, then it's your fault. Which means that then gives me the right to bite you in your finger. But I've said at some point, I cannot take this anymore. This shit from people. Which is why I'm here today, instead of at home watching porn. Yeah? You know, I switched from porn movies and videos to GIF images. And just images, because I just want to have something which I find at least aesthetically beautiful for myself. And I mean with that, aesthetically, you know, something I like, something I love. You know, your job is to love yourself. And everybody else's job is also to love themselves. And if they fail to do that, for whatever reason, or they try to destroy me because, I don't know, maybe they're jealous because, you know, I'm like this. I can't fucking help it. You know, I've trained to be like that. But if you start to be like sturdy, people will challenge you in all kinds of ways. They want you to give up just to prove to themselves, you know, nobody's that strong. Nobody's, you know, nobody can take that much shit. You know, how much can I poke you until you flip? You know, the story I've been telling you about that birthday place, you know, people were poking me all day, trying to make what I do sound like ridiculous. And, you know, then you're being taken aside, and then the last person also does that, and you realize, you know what? I think I've had enough now. I think I've had enough now of people trying to turn me into their asswipe. Because I'm not an asswipe. You know, I'm someone with feelings, with emotions, with a heart. I have desires on my own. And so one part of me realized a long time ago, but tries to still understand it, that sometimes you need a very huge valley between the hill where maybe your family wants to live on and the hill where you want to live on. Like, there has to be a huge gap, like an unsurmountable distance, so that nobody will ever come out to play with you because they're a bunch of assholes. I mean, they're like cannibals, and I mean that. They're a bunch of cannibals. Sure, they've helped me, and I think I've helped them. Right? It's like, I give what I have. If I have nothing, I can't give you shit. But if you come to me for help, and you bite me in my finger, and you try to market it as you trying to help me, well, I refuse to accept it, and you bite me in my finger, then I have to see it for what it is. You don't want to help me for me. You want to help yourself for yourself. And that turns you into basically a leech, basically a tick, basically somebody who's just been using me to make him or herself feel better already for a very long time. And that gets onto the point where I feel like I have to do something, say something, somehow act. And, I have no intention of destroying anyone. Right? It's like, if you bite me in my finger, I just have to show you, because you don't understand what I'm trying to say with words. I've tried it. I've tried to tell her, leave me the fuck alone. This is none of your business. I've said it numerous times. She bit me in my finger. And I've had it. This was like years of emotional abuse that I had to take from somebody that calls herself my sister. How much shit can you take from family until, you say punch in the face? That was basically a slap, I've been punched in the face, and unless you make it a big problem and a huge drama, usually it's actually not that bad. Unless somebody like punches you right on the nose, your cheekbone can take a lot of hits. And often it's like, you see a child and it runs and it falls and it's like, ah! Just starts crying for no reason. What's so bad? You think, it's like, whatever happens to you, you can manifest it. You can manifest, you can manifest a broken bone. How many people do I see running to doctors because they think what happened to them was so bad? Just fucking deal with it. I got punched in the face by guys who were really angry 3 times and kicked into the stomach. And all I had was like a bit of bruising. I'm not a boxing champion. I believe I probably can, deal out punches. But I don't need you to let go of my anger. But maybe sometimes I just need to say no through action. Because my words never reached you in my entire life. Have never reached you ever. I've tried so many times to make myself heard with my family. And most of them, they just never listen. They just think I'm the culprit because other family members have managed to always make me look like it was my fault. Like, look at the scenario. Just a different one. I was joining judo classes. All right? Basically learning how to defend myself, which I think is something important. And I wanted to show one of these throws to my sister. And we tried it on the bed. And I threw her, and apparently she injured herself. That's what she said, yeah? That's what she said. And my mother said, yeah, now you cannot do this anymore, which is why I never learned how to defend myself. Now you can say maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think I should have learned how to defend myself. I think it's important for a child to learn how to... And judo is not something that you use to go and punch through walls. That's just like self-defense. And I was being denied that. And now you can say, well, it was probably a good thing. I think I would have liked to know how to defend myself because I think I would have had it at least a little bit easier. Because I was never really self-confident. I had to really work hard for this. And I was always afraid also, to a certain degree of other people, because I never knew, how to defend myself. And then I had to teach myself. Yeah, now I can teach maybe others. Just go hiking, man. Just go hiking. Just go hiking. Just stay away from cities most times. Because if you go out into a pub, you think, I'm just going to let loose today, you're going to drink alcohol. You don't know what kind of sick asshole is sitting around there that just comes from the bathroom and snorted cocaine. And then he's got a flea in his ear. And he sees you and you just sit there, relax, drink your beer. And he just thinks he can piss you off. It doesn't have to happen. But, here is very unlikely to happen. But sure, shit can happen anywhere. You don't know what's gonna happen. But, it's like your feeling has to tell you who's gonna do what to you. Now I know I should have stayed away from that place. Because I was being used that night. And I'm just sharing it with the world. And that's the beauty about truth. And that's why nobody can take that away from me, I think. Because all I'm talking about is my experiences, my emotions. That's how I feel. That's my diary. I've been here, I've done that. You take me for granted. There's a reason why I deleted your phone number, even though you're my sister. Because I don't give a crap. If you're like this, you're gonna have to deal with your shit from now on your own. And you're gonna let it, you're gonna let the people suck it up. They wanna suck it up, but I'm done with this. I had to learn my lessons. People rejected me over and over again. If you're like this, you're gonna leave. Until I realized, why was I even running after them all this time? You can say they're like all materialists. So they cannot give me love, they give me money. Pay an apartment. How long are they going to do that? I live with this every day. I don't know if they're just gonna say it one day, well, that does it. Now you've done it. Now you've done it. We're gonna take it away from you. I've seen people lie to such a degree where they denied basically what they said. I go there. Okay, let's just repeat this because this is important to me. There's like people who are really sick, like in terms of they don't know what's real, or they know what's real, but they just want to change it so that it suits them. And I just stick to the truth, right? I make sure that I look at all the facts because there are so many people that I have to deal with that are infested with lies, that are really sick, like the bottom of their hearts. They're drowning in fear and they just say anything to look like they have it all together. And I've told this story, it's just part of my sub story. I had suicidal thoughts. I think I knew I wouldn't do it. I just wanted to see, and that's the truth, how other people would react if I would tell them. And I told my parents and they said, first, nothing. I just said that I have this so that they understand that it's important for me to do what I'm doing so that I can get rid of this shit. Because if I continue living the way they want me to live, I'm really going to... And so I made a choice. And my father said to me, just push through. And I heard it and I did it. I fucking pushed through. And when I went to my sister and I told her, just saying, it's not about blaming. It's just, this is the way communication works. She said to me that was selfish. And then you have to ask, was that selfish? Yeah, maybe a little. But I also didn't know what else to do. I wanted to hear, I needed to know how to continue with my life. I had suicidal thoughts and I was afraid to continue. Which is why I thought, you just have to get this straight. I went to my parents, they told me, do it, you know, just push through. All right. And I struggled. You know, this was the moment where I started really hiking up mountains, like, again, like, bam, okay, nobody can tell me what to do. I have to sort this out myself. My sister said, she said I was selfish. That's literally the words that she used. That was very selfish. And every time I bring this up, she denies it. She tries to somehow turn it around so that it benefits her, but she can't do it. Because she knows she said it, and she cannot change my mind. I've been with girlfriends. I'm saying girlfriends because they were little children to me. But I couldn't deal with them. You know, every time I did something, they just attacked me for no reason. No reason at all. They just attacked me, because they felt shit. They wanted me to take the blame. So they started saying like, you're the one who's wrong. It's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. And every time I said something, they said, no, I remember exactly what you said. I'm like an elephant. But it was wrong because they never knew what I said. And I never remembered what I said. And this is when probably my journey started to simply become more conscious. Because I was sick. Because I never remembered anything. Now I do. Now I know exactly what's going on. Because I remember the things that matter. Which help me to deal with the people that I'm living with, that are drowning in fear, that are sick with whatever, you know. There's a sickness that can infest your heart. And that's fear, right? It's like a dark vortex. And, you know, I don't understand why people are like this. You know, if I do something, I just say it. And then people give me shit for the truth. You know, they should be grateful that I tell them the truth. They should be grateful that I tell them that I hate them the way they are, because they're all dishonest. They all gossip about everyone, but only in front of certain people. You know, I just say it to the whole world. I just put it out there and I say, you know, sometimes I hate my family. I realize there need to be boundaries because you're all sick with materialism. You think because you got money, you're better than everyone else. Am I the asshole now for saying that? Because it's so obvious. You think you've got a house and that makes you better. No, if you've got a house, you've got a responsibility, you know, and you should know better than to just use your money for yourself. You know, I'm just sick of people who treat others like shit and just, you know, hide away in their mansions because they're afraid of being robbed or whatever. I mean, if you've got nothing to give, yeah, then keep your shit to yourself. Because if you start giving based on a lie, then that's just going to be shit. And maybe that's what my videos are, right? That's what my videos are, maybe. Maybe I'm just giving shit. Maybe I'm just giving shit to the whole world because I think somebody's going to hear me and is going to say, maybe he's right. Yeah? Maybe I should hate my family, but that's not the point, because I'm still here. But I also take my distance, because I don't want to, you know, get hammered with all their anger again. They have to deal with this themselves, you know. They cannot just hear one person's story anymore and then just dump it all on me. No, they have to understand that some people are closer to the truth than others. And I really make sure, I don't just sit at home and then I brood over how much I hate everyone that wronged me. No, I'm trying to make sure that I see the situation for what it is from all sides before I come to a conclusion. And then sometimes I have to be the smart one. Sometimes I have to say, well, that's it. And sometimes I just say nothing because somebody bit me in my finger like some kind of vicious animal. What do you do to a dog that bites you? Do you do nothing? Or do you just protect yourself? She fucking bit me in the finger. Am I just supposed to sit there and smile? That would be dishonest. I did the most honest thing that I could have done in that moment. And, you know, I think it's a little, sometimes you just have to be proud for no reason. And it's hard because nobody's going to come and say, good job, man, you know. you know, you really gave it to her because she's a stubborn, you know, she's stubborn as fuck. And I think I made myself heard. And I just used that frustration and all the anger that I felt of being played in such a way. And I went for a hike. And I sometimes think, how bad would they feel, you know, if I would have killed myself? Because they're certainly trying to get me to a place where I would do it. That's how I feel like. That's not paranoia, that's just a fact. Because they're trying to drown me. I mean, I've been struggling. They lumped me off into an apartment. All right, I know how to continue. And then your sister comes. Sure, she's also struggling. Whatever. She bites you in your finger. Because she can't handle alcohol. I've taken this shit so many times. Never fucking again. So I rather come here, I slackline, than to run after people who just think they know it all already. I know I have no fucking clue. And I've said that multiple times already. I have no idea what's going on. And that's why I feel like I can humble myself to go into nature and slackline and receive a teaching. And I don't know what that means, right? Next time I'm not gonna go to a party unless I'm being invited. Maybe that's the thing then, you know? Just stay away. Just stay away. No more parties with people that I don't like, you know? Although I liked it. So should I let it be ruined by something like this? Well, the problem is I don't know what's gonna come out of this. How do they feel about me? Do they just say, yeah, whatever, man? You know, we all know how it gets, how others can get, how everyone can get. You drink a bit of alcohol. I don't want it to be an excuse, but some people really lose their shit. And you just can't do that no more. At the age of 39. You can't just go around biting people into their finger. You can't just do that. You can't just go around pretending like you're a really great guy if you can't even invite your brother to your birthday party. Because I invited them for a meal when I had a birthday, even after all the shit happened. And maybe it's time to just stop with everything. Just continue this. Never call them. Never again go for a visit. Just keep my distance. Live my life. You know, that's a very weird place to find yourself in. It's actually what I wanted. But I think I can't believe I'm finally there. And maybe I'm not. But I'm just sick of running after them. Because they would have been fine without me. I'm not actually sure if I contributed at all, because nobody tells you. If they actually like you but can't tell you, well, they can't tell you. And that's the truth. I have to talk so much. And I have a lot of energy. I'm trying to invest it into something that I like. Wow. So much time. So much time. So much time. You know, I cannot, I let life judge myself. That's what I do what I can. I don't just provoke you, I think. We can all learn from each other. And if you bite me in my finger, that's a clear boundary. I don't care if you didn't mean it, because you did it. And that's also how life can teach you a little. If you just bite people, you may get punched in the face for it. And I think that's what it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna record one more video, try to make it silent. Also have to pack up and leave, I think. Whatever.